Good morning, students. Last class we started with accounting from incomplete record, also known as single entry system. And basically they will give us incomplete set of records, and with the help of that we will be asked to prepare final account. So last class we had done two problems. There are two methods of doing it. One is statement of affairs method, another one is conversion method. So we started with conversion method, and under conversion method we have seen that we have to prepare various accounts to get the missing figure so that we can complete our PL and balance sheet. Now, so last class we had done two problems, problem number 1 and 2. In one we seen that we are preparing debtors and creditors to find out credit sale and credit purchase. And in the second problem we have seen that we are preparing cash account because cash closing balance was missing. And in order to complete cash, again we have to prepare debtors and creditors. But that debtor and creditor is prepared not to find out credit sale and credit purchase. That debtor and creditor is prepared to find out collection from debtor and payment to creditor. So there is no specific set of rules. Okay, fine, you go by this approach, you go by this approach, you first prepare this. So by seeing the data which is incomplete, which is not provided to you in the question, accordingly you are going to prepare accounts, and that particular missing figure we have to calculate. So today we'll be, last class I gave you 3 questions as homework, question number 3, 4 and 5. So first we'll be discussing that and then we will move ahead. Okay. So basically Ram carried on a business as retail merchant, therefore he cannot afford to keep accounts under double entry system. That is clearly written. He has not maintained regular account books. However, he always maintained rupees 10,000 in cash and deposited the balance in bank account. His margin is 25% on sale, and he has provided you the following information. Cash opening and closing balance is given. The creditors opening and closing balance is given, right? Is that fine, everyone? Okay. Cash at bank opening and closing they have given, and closing is overdraft, fine. Debtors opening and closing, but with respect to stock they have given you the opening stock, and we have done last class also. Since they have given us the GP percentage, so it will become easy for us to find out this closing stock, right? Balancing figure. Analysis of passbook has also been given, wherein we can see payment to creditors, payment for business expense received from debtor, loan taken from Lakshman, cash deposited in the bank. This will be the contra entry appearing in both cash and bank. He informs you that he has paid something to creditors in cash as well. He has paid salary in cash. He has withdrawn 80,000 in cash for personal expenses, and during the year he did not introduce any additional capital. And surplus cash, if any, will be taken as cash sales. Prepare financial statements for the year ending 31st March, right? So what is our objective? Our objective is to prepare trading and PL, and whatever we will face problem, and accordingly we will go prepare. So first of all, my objective is to prepare trading and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March, right? Is that fine? So if I have to prepare this, is that fine? So now in order to prepare trading account, what information you need? Basic information. We need opening stock, we need purchases, we need sales, right? We need closing stock, and then we can get gross profit, right? Let us not focus on PL right now. So these are the informations required to prepare trading PL. Now somehow I know the opening stock. Unlike problem number 2, I don't know total purchase, total sales here. And they have given us the GP percentage. So once we know the sales, if we multiply the GP percentage on that, we get the gross profit. So closing stock will be the balancing figure. So what is our objective? Our objective is to get purchase and sale. Now that purchase and sale, I can get it from debtors and creditors, problem number 1, remember. So what I will do, I will leave some space. This is the space I have left for PL, and then this is the space I have left for balance sheet. So I prepare note number 1. In that I am going to prepare various accounts. So one, I am preparing debtors account. Another I will prepare creditors account. Right? So I tried to prepare what the problem has asked, but I got stuck. I don't know the purchase, I don't know sale. So this will be note number 1, and this will be note number 1. So purchase I will get it by preparing creditors account, and sale I will get by preparing debtors account. And once I know these things, and I know the gross profit, I'll get closing stock as balancing figure. So then I will think for PL. So in order to find out the credit sale and credit purchase, I have to prepare debtor and creditor. Right? Now, say for example, if you prepare debtor and creditor, so you will come to know the credit sale and the credit purchase. Further, they are telling you that cash balancing figure, cash accounts balancing figure can be your cash sales. Because when you put up in trading account, you have to take both cash and credit sales. Right? So the debtors can give me only credit sale, but how come cash sales? Cash sales I will get by preparing cash account, because they have told that cash balancing figure, any surplus cash if any will be treated as cash sales. So it means that I have to prepare cash account as well. Right? Now, they have given us analysis of the passbook. So let us prepare bank account, right? Cash and bank both. So we will prepare cash book. Might be there is any other thing missing which I will come to know later on. So it's better to prepare. When I am preparing cash, I can prepare cash books together. Cash and bank together. So I'll prepare one cash book. Is that fine? right? So somehow I have to prepare debtor creditor for credit sale, credit purchase, but I have to prepare cash account also, so I'm preparing bank account as well, right? So what will happen, you will find that there might be a case that you might get some other missing figures as well, right? Let us check. So if I have to prepare debtor account, I have to write out the balances. So opening balance is 1 lakh, closing balance is 3 lakh 50. Then creditors, the opening balance is 40 and the closing balance is 90, right? Okay. Cash, the opening balance is 10,000 and the closing balance is also 10,000, because they are telling that we are maintaining 10,000 cash balance, right? Bank, so opening we have credit, so bank opening we have overdraft, and closing is debit, so that's positive balance, right? So these are the accounts that we have to prepare. So right now I'm focusing only on trading account, right? For preparing trading account, I require purchase sale, that I can get from debtor and creditor. Further, they have also given some hint that cash sales can also be there. So I'm preparing cash and bank in just in addition. I'm preparing. There might be a case I might get some other thing as balancing figure. Okay. Now, what are the transactions? Payment to creditor, passbook, analysis of his passbook. So all these payments are done through bank. So payment to creditor 7 lakh. So by creditors, 7 lakh has been paid through bank, and in creditors I have to show two bank payment 7 lakh. Done. Then payment for business expenses. So by expenses 1,20,000. Right? Receive from debtor. So debtor is 7,50,000, and in debtors I will have by bank. Since I am preparing cash and creditor both, so for payment to creditor there is both effects, and for payment of expenses there is only one effect, because I am not preparing expense account, right? So that is normal. Whatever you are preparing, if it is affecting two accounts will be posted, and if it is affecting one, so one. Then loan from Lakshman taken, right? So to loan from Lakshman 1 lakh I have taken. Okay. Then cash deposited in bank 1 lakh. So contra entry. So by bank contra 1 lakh, and here to cash contra amount in bank column. Right? Now he informs you that he paid creditors for goods in cash 20,000. So already I have shown by creditor 7 lakh in bank. So here I will show 20,000 in cash column as well. Right? So in creditor I will write to cash as well. 20,000. Right? Then we have paid salaries in cash 40,000. Buy salaries 40,000 in cash. Right? Normal cash book I am preparing. Then drawings 80,000 in cash, personal. Right? Is that fine? Now if you see the bank account, usually they have given you passbook. So when you take the passbook, right, let us assume that there is no reconciliation items. Check deposited, not yet credited, check issued, not let us assume there is no reconciliation, right? So if you see the bank, since they have given us bank passbook, it means no transaction is left uncovered, and further there is no reconciliation item as well. So if you see carefully, right, your bank account will tally. So basically it will show that this account which I have prepared is simply a waste. But I told you, you might get. So now you have understood. Now when they give you the passbook, it means no transaction is left uncovered. So there is no need to prepare. Further, they have also given us the opening and the closing balance. So you can see 950, 950, the total is matching. Right? Now, if I see debtor, so it will be 2 sales, balancing figure, credit sale. Right, that is 10 lakh rupees, very simple. And if you see creditor, so that will be buy purchase, again balancing figure. Done. So I have got this as balancing figure, I have got this as balancing figure. The objective of preparing this account has been served. Now what was the objective of preparing cash? To check whether there is any balancing figure or not, and if there is, that will be taken as 2 sales. I will write cash sales. Just check the balancing figure. So 20,000 plus 1 lakh plus 40,000 plus 80,000 plus 10,000 minus 10,000. Right? So here we are getting 2 lakh 40,000. Right? So the purpose has been served. Credit sale, credit purchase, and cash purchase. right? So now I'll be completing it. Right? Now, what is my credit purchase? 7,70,000, and there is no cash purchase information. What is my credit sale? 10 lakh, and what is my cash sales? 2,40,000. So I've got 12,40,000. Now the gross profit is 25% on rupees 12,40,000. Once we know the sales, 25% of that will be my gross profit. So that comes to 3,10,000. Right? 12,40,000 into 25%. On sale directly. So like problem number 2, I got closing stock as balancing figure. Just do it. So 2,80,000 plus 7,70,000 plus 3,10,000 minus 12,40,000. Right? So the trading account has been drafted successfully. Now next part that we have to prepare is PL account, right? So for preparing PL account, we have to brought down this gross profit. Now I have to show all the indirect expenses. So you can see there is some expenses which has been paid through bank, and there is some expenses which has been paid through cash. Now I'm not talking about the personal expense. I'm talking about business expense. So you can see two expenses. $120 has been paid through bank, and 40,000 has been paid through cash, salary. So that comes to 1,60,000. So simply you will prepare the net profit. There is no depreciation, right? But there is given interest rate on the loan taken from Lakshman. So that interest is not basically there in your cash book. It has not been paid. So October you took loan. So October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March. So two outstanding interest on loan. So on 1 lakh into 10% into 6 by 12. Usually you will miss out this. Many students will miss out this, but no need to worry. Still your balance sheet will tally. The only difference will be, since it has two effects. One is reducing the profit, another one it will come in liability side, right? So but still you have to be careful why to get 2 marks even less, right? So 1 lakh into 10% into 6 by 12, that comes to 5,000, I guess. So now I will get to net profit. Balancing figure. So it is like 3,10,000 minus 1,60,000 minus 5,000. So that comes to 1,45,000. So now there were a lot of information which was given to us, but there was a lot more information which was not provided to us. So we calculated it by preparing various accounts. I hope things are getting very clear to all of you. Right? Now, they have told financial statement, final account. So now we have to prepare the balance sheet as well, right? So now balance sheet as on 31st March. Is that fine? Now for preparing balance sheet, the very first item is capital. That is note number 2. Problem number 2, they gave us the opening balance sheet, but here we don't have the opening balance sheets, but we have the list of opening assets and liabilities. So what we'll be doing, we'll be preparing note number 2 and preparing the opening balance sheet in T form with the opening balances, right? No need for any marshalling and all. Straight away you can just have it. And what are the opening balances they have given us? Cash, right? So cash is 10,000. Then they have given us creditors, 40,000. Then bank, it's OD, right? Credit means OD, 50,000. Then we have debtors, 1 lakh. And then we have stock, 2 lakh 80, right? So simply you can see that there is no other asset liability. So I will get capital as balancing figure. There is no fixed asset out here. Many will say that there is outstanding interest, that's on the closing date, not on the opening date, right? And loan is also taken during the year, so you don't have any loan balance. Is that fine? So this is Is that fine? So now you see the point you're getting stuck, you're preparing account, right? So you don't know the opening capital, so you prepare the opening balance sheet. You know the dual aspect concept, that is capital is equals to capital plus liability is equals to asset. This is the dual accounting equation, dual aspect concept. So you have assets, you have liabilities, you get capital as balancing figure, right? Now, so our opening capital is 3 lakh. Now you will add net profit, that is 1 lakh 45, and then minus drawings. You have drawings also. $80,000, right? Last problem there was no drawings, right? But in this problem we have drawings. So it is 3 lakh plus 1 lakh 45 minus 80,000. So 3 lakh 65,000. Then I'll show loan from Lakshman. 1 lakh, it's a new liability. Then I will show creditors. $90,000. Now on the closing date, bank has become positive, right? So and here we won't forget to show outstanding interest on loan. Double effect. How much? 5,000. Now when you prepare asset, you need to follow marshalling. So first fixed asset, then current asset, and in that current asset, the first item is stock. The closing stock that we got 1 lakh 20,000 as balancing figure. Then we have debtors. Three lakh 50, and then we have cash 10,000. We have bank balance 80,000, right? And what else we have? That's it. Just take the total. So it is 3 lakh 65 plus 1 lakh plus 90,000 plus 5,000. So that comes to 5 lakh 60,000, and this is 470, 480. This is also 5 lakh 60,000, right? So this problem has been successfully completed. I hope you have understood, but if you do more problems, practice more, automatically you will get the grip. right? So now problem number 4. Okay, so the businessman keeps his account under single entry system. On 1st April of financial year, the statement of affairs means the balance sheet is given. So here we don't have to prepare the opening balance sheet because that's given, so they have reduced our work. Capital account, current liability, we have creditors, we have bills payable, we have outstanding expenses. Then current asset, we have non-current asset, we have furniture and fittings. Then we have current asset, we have stock, debtors, bills receivable, cash in hand and bank is given combined. So now if they have to prepare cash book, so we need to prepare it in combined way. Then prepaid insurance is 2000. The summary of the cash book for the year ended, they have given cash book summary. Cash and bank opening is 80,000. That you can get it from above as well because they have given us the opening balance sheet. Cash sales, payment to creditors, payment for bills payable. Then receive from debtors, receive from bills receivable. Sundry expenses paid, drawings, and then cash closing. So they gave us this thing. They gave us this opening balance sheet and they gave us the cash book. Now, discount allowed and discount received from creditors, discount allowed to debtor, discount received from creditors they have given, bills endorsed they have given, right? Annual fire insurance premium 6,000 was paid, so that's this 6,000 is included in that sundry expenses paid, right? Sundry expenses means a sum total of all expenses. So when they are saying that annual fire insurance premium paid, so that it means that it is included in that. Okay, fine. That I'll see. Was paid every year on 1st August for the renewal of the policy. Furniture, fixture, fittings were subject to depreciation 15% on diminishing. And they have given us closing balance of stock, debtor, BR, bills payable and outstanding. Charu maintains a steady gross profit of 10% on sales. Okay. You're required to prepare the trading and the profit and loss account and the balance sheet as on that date. Fine. So they have given us the opening balance sheet, they have given us the cash book, and they have given us few information. Discount allowed, discount received, bills receivable endorsed, and they are telling that out of that expenses paid, 6,000 was paid for insurance premium on 1st August. So in foundation you have learnt that whatever is opening prepaid, that is related to this accounting year, so it will be added. And since this is annual fire insurance premium paid on 1st of August, so 1st August means next year 31st July. So next year after March it is April, May, June, July, so 4 months prepaid you have to show. That is the closing prepaid. Okay, that I'll show you how to show. And furniture fittings will be depreciated at the rate 15%. And they have also given us the gross profit now. Okay, fine. So let us start, and I hope that we will be able to do it. Let us see. So first of all, name is Chandru, right? We have to prepare trading and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March. Is that fine? Now, so first of all, I'll focus only on trading accounts. So I have opening stock, right? I'll have purchase, sale, closing stock. Two purchases, buy sales, buy closing stock, and I'll have to gross profit. So now, in the given problem, we have only from the opening balance sheet, I can get opening stock. Right? And closing stock they have given. Is that fine? Now, purchase and sale is missing, but you know collections and all. Right? You know collections, you know payments. So you can prepare debtor. Right? So from debtor, you are going to get credit sale. Okay. And creditors closing is not given. So anyway, if I can get sales, they have given us gross profit. If I come to know sales, I need sales. If I know the sales, I can get gross profit because the percentage of GP is 10%. So automatically I get purchase as balancing figure. This purchase I'll put it in creditor. So I'll get creditor's closing balance. So now here we are preparing debtors for the purpose of calculating sale. But we are preparing creditor not for the purpose of calculating purchase, because purchase you will get it from here. Creditor closing is also missing. Just have a look. You need to develop sense automatically, right? This thing I cannot put it in your brain. You have to read it properly. What is given? Last problem, we prepared debtor, and the payment, the receipt was given. So we know the opening debtor, we know the closing debtor, and the receipt was given. That receipt I put it in debtor, I get credit sale. Same was with creditor, but here I don't know the closing creditor. So with an account I can get only maximum one missing figure, I cannot get two. So in that case I have to calculate purchase from a different way, and that is possible. You can see that once I know the sales part, gross profit I will get, purchase will balancing figure, this purchase I'll put it in creditor, I'll getting my point. So right now our objective, you have to think in before, right? So first of all our objective should be to prepare debtors account. Right now I will not focus on creditor. And when you are preparing debtor, so you have to prepare bills receivable as well, because this goes side by side. Right? So with the help of debtor and bills receivable, I will come to know the credit sale part. Now, what is the debtor's opening balance? 1,48,000. Bills receivable opening balance 60,000. What is debtors closing balance? 1,52,000. And bills receivable closing balance is 75. Since I am preparing these two accounts, I have to put only information which is required to complete these two accounts. No other account I will prepare. So I put up the opening and the closing balances. Now, cash sales will not come here. Then payment to creditor, payment for bills payable will not come here. Receive from debtor. So buy cash 15,10,000. And receive for bills receivable. So buy cash 3,40,000. And then sundry expense drawings, and then discount allowed is 36. Buy discount allowed is 36. Discount received has no role to play. Bill endorsed amounted to 15. So the bill has been given to creditors. So by creditor 15,000. Right? See, bill of exchange knowledge you need to have. BR endorsed. So creditor will decrease and bills receivable. Instead of accepting a new bill, whatever bill you had, you gave it to your creditors. Right? Whatever bills receivable, you can either held it till maturity, or you can discount it to the bank, or you can endorse it to your creditor. Right? So right now I am preparing only debtors and bills receivable. Because when you prepare debtors, you have to prepare bills receivable side by side. Because anyway I cannot prepare creditor, because that is worthless. For preparing creditors, because I don't know, I have two missing figures, right? Purchase and closing creditors. So right now I don't feel like preparing it, so I'm not preparing it, because that is not required. Because I have told you, once I come to know the sales part, I'll get the gross profit, and purchase will be my balancing figure. Right? So this is done. Now, from bills receivable account, you are going to get BR received during the year. That you are going to put it in debtor, and then from debtor you are going to get the credit sale. So here the balancing figure is 2 debtors, BR received. This is cash collected from bills receivable, 3,40,000. This is BR matured, not received. So BR received is how much? 75 plus 15 plus 3,40,000 minus 60,000. That comes to 3,70,000. So this I will put it here. By BR 3,70,000. So now I will get 2 sales balancing figure. Now you understood why I told debtor and BR should be prepared side by side, because from this I will get this as balancing figure. This will be posted here, right? And then we will get the credit sale as balancing figure. So in order to get credit sale, it is 15,10,000 plus 36 plus 3,70,000 plus 4. That comes to 19,20,000. I guess this is absolutely okay with all of you. In the similar way, I could have prepared creditors and bills payable, but there is no use, because from creditor 2 datas are missing. So in that case, I cannot get credit purchase from creditor. I have to get purchase by different way, that is that trading account way. Is that fine? Got my point? So this thinking will develop once you practice more and more sums, right? So from BR we got bills received during the year, that you put it in debtor, right? your customers accept your bill, na? So this is that, and then you get credit sales 19 lakh 20, right? So now when you put it here, it is like this: 73 lakh 80,000 is your cash sales, plus 19 lakh 20 is your credit sales. Unnecessarily don't try to create confusion, right? Whatever they have told us to prepare, that only we are going to prepare. So it's 73 lakh 80 plus 19 lakh 20. So that comes to 93 lakh, right? So this is I am going to get. Is that fine? So last problem which we did in that purchase and sale, we calculated by preparing debtor creditor. We wrote the gross profit, we got closing stock as balancing figure. So here purchase cannot be calculated because closing creditor is missing. So I got the sales, I got the gross profit. Now one missing figure can be calculated from trading account. So this is the balancing figure. How much? 93 lakh plus 6 lakh 50 minus 6 lakh 10 minus 84 lakh 10,000. Right? Now the trading part is over. Now I'll move into the PL part. So by gross profit brought down. Nine lakh 30. So first of all, I have to show two expenses. Now, how much is expenses paid? 620, 700, right? So in that we had opening prepaid. So that is related to this year. Opening outstanding, that is related to last year. Then we have closing outstanding, that is related to this year, and closing prepaid, it is related to next year. Now how to get this closing prepaid? 6,000 is annual and it relates to next year July. So April, May, June, July. Out of this 4 months is prepaid. So it will come 2,000 only. Right? So this 2 gets cancelled. So here I will get 5 lakh 80,000 700. Right? I'm just showing you one note. This is the opening, this is the full year, right? April to March. So opening outstanding is 45. Opening date prepaid is 2. Closing outstanding is 5. What is closing prepaid? I have paid insurance premium on 1st of August and that is annual. So this is covering a period till next year 31st July. So but obvious the payment of 6,000 which I have done on 1st August is related to next year July. So April, May, June, July. So that is 6,000 into 4 by 12. So that comes to rupees 2,000. Right? So now this is related to this year or last year. Opening outstanding is last year. So subtract this. Prepaid is related to, prepaid is always future. So opening date future is current year. So it will be added. Current year outstanding is related to current year and closing prepaid is, you can see from the diagram that it is related to next year. So we subtracted it. So that is what we have shown above. So opening outstanding minus, closing outstanding plus, opening prepaid plus, closing prepaid minus. Right? So this is very easy. Annual fire insurance premium was 6,000, was paid every year. So first of all, this 6,000 is included in that 620,700. That is but obvious. Otherwise, they would have shown insurance premium separately in your cash book. Right? So this 6,000 is from 1st August till it's an annual contract. So it will cover next year July. So right now you can see that 4 months it is related to next year accounting period also. So that's prepaid. So you are going to calculate that prepaid. Now opening outstanding means last year. Opening prepaid means it is related to current year, accrual basis concept. So accordingly we are getting this figure. 5,80,700. I guess there is no such problem in this. This is very important. Right? Okay, fine. So now you have other expenses as well in this problem. We have discount allowed. So that we have to put how much? 36,000. We have discount received also. Right? If we would have given trial balance, then discount allowed would have been on the debit side of trial balance and discount received would have been on the credit side of trial balance. But you have, it's just scattered, you have to just bring it at one place. Then next we have depreciation, since the rate is also provided to you. So from the opening balance sheet you can easily see the opening furniture, it's 1 lakh and the rate is 15%. So that comes to 15,000. Now I don't find any other expenses. Drawings is a personal expense, right? That's it. So we get 2 net profit. Three, 2, 6, 300. 326,300. So that is the summary of PL, right? We did not had purchase and sale, and so somehow I can get sale by preparing debtors account, but I cannot get purchase by preparing creditor account, because in creditor we don't have the closing balance, right? So we got purchased by a different way, and then the PL information has been given, expense outstanding prepaid adjusted, discount allowed given, depreciation calculated, and I'm putting up everything and getting the figure. Is that fine? So now I will be preparing the balance sheet, right? So right now, till now, I did not felt the preparation of need of preparing the creditors. Now I will feel, I think so, but okay, fine, I'll prepare. So I have balance sheet as on 31st March. I have the opening capital, right? So capital they have given how much? So the opening capital is 2,50,000. Add net profit 326 300 minus drawings 2,40,000. So it is 336 300. And then we have creditors, which we don't know as of now, that I will get it by preparing account. I know bills payable. Bills payable closing is 140. I know outstanding expenses. Asset I have the opening asset and less depreciation. Then stock I have 6,50,000. Debtors I have 152. Bills receivable I have 75. Then we have cash and bank together. The closing one is 127 300, and then we have prepaid insurance 2,000. So now if I can get creditors somehow, so that will be note number 3, right? So when we finalize accounts of any trader, right? Uh, if they tell us to file their return of income, so balance sheet may we keep one item that we can take as balancing figure, right? Anyway, if I am going to calculate my creditor balance, if I put it here, so it's gonna tally. So let us do one thing. Let us take the balance sheet total once, right? I'll just show you one thing. That it's a very good way of verifying things, right? There is only one figure missing in the balance sheet, right? So just take the asset side total first. 135, 6 lakh 50. Provided you do not miss anything, right? 152, 75 plus 127, 300 plus 2000, right? So that is like, sorry, I did one mistake. It was 1 lakh. So this will be 85,000. So minus. So again going to get 10 lakh 91,300. The cost of the asset was 1 lakh. So this liability side will also be 1091,300. Now I will see 36300 minus 1 lakh 40 minus 5,000. So that comes to 6 lakh 10. I'll show you that if I prepare creditors account, I'll get 6 lakh 10 only. This is just the other way I have shown you, that if you're running short of time, right? So one item from balance sheet you can get as balancing figure. But now I'll prepare the creditors, right? That's note 3. And when I prepare creditors, bills payable will go side by side. So creditors, the balance is, the opening balance is 5 lakh 80. The closing one I don't know. Bills payable opening is 125. The closing is 140. Now I'll put up all the information that is given to us. Payment to creditors. So to cash 75 lakh 7,000. To cash bills payable is 8 lakh 15,000. And then we don't have anything else. Sorry. To discount received we got 28. To BR, that is endorsed, 15,000. Right, then we got purchase, right, from trading account, assuming all on credit. Now first of all I will get bills payable ka balancing figure, that is by creditors bills accepted, right, during the year. That was in debtor, it was bills received during the year. So it is coming to 8 lakh 30,000. This 8 lakh 30 I'll post here to bills payable. So this was endorsed and this is fresh accepted. So automatically I'll get closing creditor. It's 5 lakh 80 plus 84 lakh 10,000 minus 75 lakh 7,000 minus 28 minus 15 minus 8 lakh 30. See, I got 6 lakh 10. So I told you one thing you can get as balancing figure, not a problem. One information you can get as balancing figure. Right. So you need to be very careful in posting, in preparing an account, that you should not miss out any item. If say for example I would have missed out discount received or BR endorsed, then the things would have been different. And you have to be very careful when you're preparing these accounts to calculate the missing figure, right? So that has to be there in your mind. And rest, if you again and again I'm telling you that if you practice a lot, the chapter is very easy. It's a very scoring chapter, and it actually shows your skills, right? You know from which account you get what, as to what information your debtors can provide you, the opening debtor, the closing debtor, the sales part, the collection part, right? What information, bills receivable account, the bills payable, bills receivable matured, bills receivable received during the year, right? Closing and the opening. Similarly, cash accounts you can get, in this problem we are getting cash sales. In many problems they will say that it can be cash defalcation, or it can be further capital introduction, or it can be drawings, right? So you need to read the data provided to in the problem, and accordingly you need to judge what is missing, right? And when you see that there will be different students who will be putting up a very different approach while they do a problem. This is the best approach which I think, like whenever we get stuck, prepare account. If we don't get stuck, just move on like that. I'll show you one question in that there was no need of preparing any account, but still students prepared all the accounts beforehand. So that's a wastage of time, right? And if you refer to any book, you will find that first they are preparing various notes, working notes, accounts, and then they are starting a problem. So I don't feel like doing that way. It's better that whatever is missing, that only I'll prepare, right? So you can see the solution. So it's 6 lakh 10 and we got 6 lakh 10 only, right?